to make some crumble.
This week's tutorial is how to make an apple and raspberry crumble. So all you need is 5 cooking apples, 100 grams of raspberries, 200 grams of granulated sugar, 200 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of butter and 50 grams of soft brown sugar. The first thing to do is to stew the apples for the crumble. So we're going to start off peeling the apples. These apples that I'm using are Bramley apples from County Armagh, and they're just so nice and hard to serve crumbles. So now that my 5 cooking apples are peeled, I'm just going to get a knife and chop up the apples. Whenever you're chopping up your apples, you can do them in wee chunks, or I just do them in slices because I find that they stew quicker, but it's up to yourself. Whenever you're cutting your apples, they tend to go brown and quite soft. So a wee tip is just to fill your pot up with cold water, and it just keeps them nice and fresh until you have them all chopped. This is how mine looks. So the next step is to just drain off the water that was put in the pan to keep the apples fresh. Don't be worried if you can't get all the water out, because you want to fill about a quarter of the saucepan, maybe less, with water, just so whenever you're stewing the apples that they keep nice and juicy. There we go. So the next thing to do is just to turn your hob on to medium heat and let that water heat up, and then add our sugar. So now I'm just adding in half of the sugar, and you want to keep the other half for the crumble. Give that a wee mix just to make sure that it's all covered equally, like so. So just cover that and leave it for 10 minutes to stew. Now all you want to do is to remove that lid, turn the heat down and give the apples a wee stir. Now if you like your apples with a bit of crunch, you can remove from the heat now, or if you want them softer, leave it on a bit longer, it's up to yourself. To make the crumble, you want to start off rubbing your flour and your butter together. So pour in your 200 grams of plain flour, and then measure out 50 grams of butter and cut them into wee squares. Now using your fingertips, you just want to rub the butter and the flour together until it makes a nice, fine, well mixed crumble. The next thing to do is just to add in your 50 grams of brown sugar and your 100 grams of granulated sugar and mix it into the mixture. Now you want to add in your raspberries to your stewed apples. So just drop them in and mix them very gently, because you don't want them to lose their shape. So that is the apple and raspberry filling made for the crumble. So now you want to take your dish and place your filling into the dish. You're then going to smooth it out just so it's nice and even. The last thing to do is to add on your crumble on top of your filling, and make sure it's nice and level, and then pop it into the oven. So place the crumble at 180 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes until the top is nice and golden brown. So I never got a photo or a video of me cutting it, so this is what it turned out like, but everyone seemed to enjoy it, and let me know if you try it how yours goes. Thanks so much for watching.